The Elks are steep, and they are also known for having a lot of loose rock. With those two factors, the routes can be kind of hard to follow.
The bells are, because they're sandstone, it's a softer rock and it cleaves more easily. There's just much more loose rock. I would say that the maroon bells are of some of the worst rock in all of Colorado climbing.
The routes up here on the maroon bells in particular are quite hard to follow, especially if you're going to do the traverse where your route of ascent is different than your route of descent. If you find yourself on the route in some of this challenging terrain, it can seem like a nice, pleasant, fun hike. And if you just happen to miss one switchback and walk too far out onto a ledge that is suddenly very exposed and everything you're standing on is loose rock, it goes from comfortable to terrifying. I generally think most of the issues in the Elks that lead to problems and accidents are due to people getting off route.
They're not terribly hard if you stay en route, but it's really hard to stay en route. I've been off route on them many times, and if you're off route, the difficulty of the climbing goes up exponentially. When you add rain to that, it's a bedded sandstone. There's just really slick surfaces on it. Oftentimes they're tilted outward like a tile on a roof, and they just want to send you off.
Capitol actually has some of the best rock in all of the Elk Mountains. Really big slabs of granite, large boulders. It's not as broken down as North Maroon, Maroon Peak, and Pyramid, which are some of the chossiest. While that rock is some of the most solid, it's also quite slick. Most places on Capitol, a slip could result in a fall.
If you're up on these peaks that you're listing, Capitol, Pyramid, the Bells, Snowmass, some of the missteps that you might take up there or a quick slip can be a complete fatality. You gotta really be on your game. You gotta know where you're stepping. You gotta test things out before you're going for it. It's certainly not a race to the top, especially when you feel like you're on terrain that's like walking around a room full of poker chips. These are the kind of peaks where when you hit that fourth class terrain, there's really no set route. I mean, yes, there's stuff printed in guidebooks and there's things available online. There's a snowdrift that exists, or there's some kind of hang fire off of Coular, and you need to pick your own route in that kind of terrain. It's no longer the yellow brick road. You're trying your best to find your way to the top and to do that smartly and effectively.
These mountains are just in a different category than the rest. I don't see there ever being a time where these routes are completely clear of loose rock and devoid of those objective hazards. Rock. And the route finding, it may improve through the years as more people climb these peaks, and it seems to have been improving in the time that I've been visiting these mountains, but it's always going to be something that you have to consider. It's never going to be a case where you can just casually go up there without really doing some homework and having a plan and having a good idea of where you want to be going and what you're looking for.